This is Wallet Brief, where we cut through the noise and focus on what matters to your money. Stock market today remains a top search even on Sunday as investors prepare for what could be the most consequential week of February. Markets closed Friday with the S&P 500 up 0.69 at 6,909.51, the Nasdaq gaining 0.9 to 22,886.07, and the Dow adding 0.47 to 49,625.97. The weekend gives everyone time to digest Friday's dramatic Supreme Court tariff ruling and President Trump's immediate vow to impose new global levies. But the real focus is Wednesday. Nvidia reports earnings, and that single event could determine whether the market breaks through 7,000 or reverses sharply. Friday's rally was driven by the Supreme Court striking down President Trump's emergency tariffs in a 6-3 decision, sparking relief across e-commerce and tech stocks. Amazon surged 2.6, Alphabet jumped over 4, and smaller online retailers like Etsy soared 8.6 on expectations that import costs won't spike. The court ruled the administration exceeded its authority, potentially requiring $175 billion in tariff refunds to importers. But within hours, Trump announced plans for new 10 global tariffs through different legal channels, creating fresh uncertainty. Meanwhile, economic data showed weakness. GDP came in at just 1.4 versus the 2.5 estimate, revealing the economy is cooling faster than expected. Core inflation remains sticky around 3, keeping the Federal Reserve cautious about rate cuts. Here's what's actually happening. The market is balanced on a knife's edge. Friday's rally was built on hope that tariff threats are diminishing, but Trump's immediate response suggests the trade war is simply changing tactics, not ending. The GDP miss signals genuine economic slowdown, but investors chose to focus on tariff relief instead. Now everything hinges on Nvidia. Wall Street expects the chipmaker to report explosive growth. Analysts are looking for 57% revenue growth for fiscal 2026 and projecting 65% for fiscal 2027. CEO Jensen Huang has said demand for the Blackwell AI platform is off the charts. But after weeks of AI spending skepticism that crushed software stocks and sparked defensive rotation, Nvidia needs to deliver a massive beat and confident guidance to restore faith in tech leadership. If Nvidia disappoints or sounds cautious, the rally collapses. The tariff situation directly affects your household budget. If those emergency tariffs stay blocked and don't get reimposed through other means, you'll see lower prices on imported goods, everything from electronics to clothing to furniture. Companies like Amazon, Walmart, and Target won't have to pass those costs to consumers. But if Trump's new 10 global tariff plan gets implemented, those savings evaporate quickly. For investors, your portfolio's direction depends heavily on Nvidia's Wednesday report. If you're overweight tech, especially semiconductor and AI infrastructure stocks, you're vulnerable if Nvidia misses. If you've rotated into defensive sectors like utilities and healthcare, you've been protected during recent volatility, but you'll miss out if tech surges. The GDP weakness suggests the economy is slowing, which could eventually force the Fed to cut rates. Good for borrowers, less good for savers with high-yield accounts. Markets reopen Monday morning. Watch for any weekend announcements about new tariff implementation. Trump could issue executive orders that immediately reverse Friday's optimism. Nvidia reports after the close Wednesday, and this is the single most important earnings report of the quarter. The stock needs to beat expectations by a wide margin and provide bullish guidance to justify its valuation and pull the entire tech sector higher. Also watch for any Federal Reserve commentary about the GDP miss. If officials express concern about slowing growth, rate cut expectations will build and could support markets. Consumer confidence data releases Tuesday, which will show whether households are feeling the economic weakness yet. This week determines whether the market pushes to new records or reverses into correction territory. The path forward runs directly through Nvidia's earnings call. That's it for today's Wallet Brief. Subscribe for daily updates on what's moving markets and your money.